Hey there, YouTube. Well, I pre-cut parts. These had dovetails to go into the sliding dovetails as dividers, and also to help support the lower shelf. And I measured everything. But you know what? When you get all done, yeah, they don't quite fit. And because they're dovetails and the way I've cut them, I can't shorten them because this width is what I needed for it to lock in. So, got to make some new ones. So, but it's coming along. Never can have enough clamps. I don't have it glued right now. This time I decided to go ahead and clamp it up, dry fitted, before I start putting the rest of my screws in. I had one in here earlier to help hold it all in place, and then when I went to go check on the dividers to put them in, I ran into a problem, so I had to undo it, but luckily I didn't glue it all up yet. So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and glue it up, get this panel in, because this will be my main support like I had before. But I'm going to glue and screw it with pocket screws and get it in place and get it supported. The top is all glued and screwed in right now, so it's not going anywhere. And this part here will help hold it. This is just sitting in dados on either side. It's going to be sandwiched between the back plate. So it's not going to move at all, but I'll go ahead and throw some glue on the end. I don't think I need to screw it in place, but I'm going to glue it in place. So it's coming along. I got one more panel to do below this one, and then two little legs for where the frame will bolt up to. Alright, you guys, well, we're putting it on the front molding now. Again, can't have enough clamps, huh? Anyway, we'll let that go through the night, and then we'll start on the panel that goes on the bottom, the legs, and then the backer board. So, it's coming along. Hey, you guys, okay, on the headboard, we're moving along, but now I've got to put this next panel in. And it's got to go below the top panel, which I'll show you in a second. But I've got an issue with getting it mounted. So here's the panel. Let's see if this is going to work. You're not giving you much justice there, but it's got to go between the molding now on the outer edge, and then below this bottom piece way down here on its own, where the mattress will go against. And as I'm looking at it, I think what I have to do, whoops, sorry, I hope this will work. Right here's the molding, and I've got about, maybe about 3/4 of an inch to an inch to the outboard here. So I think what I'm going to do, in order to mount this, since it's got to go against that and just right there at that edge, I'm going to glue a piece of wood back here. Is this showing up? Yeah. Should glue a piece of wood against the molding here and the side, as like a glue block kind of a deal, but for that other piece to sandwich up against. I think that'll give me some strength, and it'll be easier for me to clamp it. So that's what I'm going to do. From the drawing, I can't tell how it was built in the back behind it. So that's what I'll do there. And then I'm also thinking underneath this bottom shelving right here in the back, I'm going to cut a little triangular piece for a glue block just to give me some extra strength from racking. It's not doing it at all really, but just an extra piece since it's going to be a headboard, and there could be movement, you know, it could be rough movement. Anyway, I'm going to do that, so I'll show you that part there, so we'll glue and screw that in. But yeah, I'm getting close, getting really close now. So, thanks for watching. Alright, so glue blocks on the front for the panel. That's how we're going about that. So, just FYI. Hey YouTube! Now it's not a, what is it, P95 or whatever? No. I'm doing my favorite part. We're sanding. I got it really close. All I got left now is put on the back with some hardboard, and then the little legs, which I've got to glue up some pieces to get the width I need. But right now, yeah, so I'm not going to bore you with that, but it is a part of what we've got to do for our woodwork. Hey, well, continuing on the sanding still, but I went ahead and I need to glue up the little legs where the bed frame is going to mount to. So that's what we got right here. As I needed extra width, this project I ended up having to do a lot of this to widen boards to get it to what I wanted, because at the big box store you just can't buy that wide of boards anymore at a decent price. So we'll get these glued up and we'll get them set in. I always try to put clamps on the ends here like this to help keep it flat while I'm doing that. Just what I do. So once I get this done, then we'll drop the bottom panel because that's not been screwed in yet. Once I get that thing off, then the glue blocks will be able to be exposed. We'll attach these to the glue blocks, and then the panel to the glue blocks, and the panel to these pieces. So that'll make it really nice and strong, because that is where the frame is going to attach to the headboard. And I'll probably put some screws in there too, because that's where most of the stress is going to be, right at that very point. So once I get that done, when the weather warms up and we get it outside, we'll go ahead and get some paint on it. She wants it black. That's the color that she's got all her furniture. So we're going to spray it with a semi-gloss black, and we'll be done with the project. So next couple of videos here will probably be finishing this up. I appreciate your watching, you guys. Hey, good morning, YouTube. Alright, so we just did the leg on our headboard here, and I don't remember if you remember, but I had put this glue block in for the panel that fit over it, and then I knew I needed to put this leg in. And when I went to go look at it, I realized, shoot, you know, I probably could have done this all with one piece. But I didn't, at the time as I was going, I didn't see that. So now I had to notch this piece out so it'll fit in here. And then I'll glue it to the side and put some screws in to help hold it. And then of course this panel will cover this spot up here. It's like 10 inches down from here, so it'll come down to about here. So that'll all be covered. YouTube. Okay, so you know I've got that big Craig jig, but with this notch here, I can't get that Craig jig to work, so we got to use the cheap one that I've got, which works just as good as the big one. So we'll go ahead and get this lined up. And we're going to put our put all our pocket screws in here, like I told you, to help hold it in place. So this is all that's involved in that. So even the cheap Craig jig can do the job. You don't have to get the real fancy, what is it, K4 or K5. It still does the job. So I have both. I have both, but you know, like I say, I've been doing this for a little bit of time. So I'll get those all cut out. And then we'll get those panels glued in today. It's taking a little longer because of the cold for the glue to set up. So that's why it's taking me longer to finish this up. But we're really close. And I want to thank you guys again. Thank you for the comments. Please, I really want to share everything about this Shopsmith and other equipment that we use to build projects on the Shopsmith, because it can do 90%. The Shopsmith itself can do 90% of the jobs that you need to get done when you're working a project, but there are times when, you know, you have to use something else. So 90% of this project was done on the Shopsmith. All right, man, so I'll be back.